Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, know your nation, know yourself. Oh, there was some little, I was having to do a little bit of rummaging around backstage there. But anyway, I'm here with you now, and welcome to another Friday Fryer. Before I wear a different shirt for you today, I don't think you guys have seen this one before. I thought I was like, I'd wear red roses for my audience tonight. Oh, I think I've got a little bit of glare going on. Let me just drop that down a little bit. Anyway, oh gosh, well, as you know, on Fridays I normally come back from tennis. So you played pretty well today, served well today. I played without my glasses, which I've not done before because I was having issues with the ball toss and stuff, and I realized it was all the different reflections going on in my eyes and the glasses when I'm tossing up the ball. But anyway, today was good. Had pizza for the first time in ages. Shouldn't really be eating pizza or tomato, but you burn it all off with the tennis and all of that kind of stuff. Oh, someone says here that they love. Oh, thank you very much. Cheryl loves the shirt, they said. And Deborah says, red roses for a blue lady. Ah. Julian says, I love the shirt. Can I have it? Do you know, I'm not even sure where I got it from, actually. But yeah, it's one of my favorites. I don't wear it that often because, it's a little bit flamboyant. But, it's, like I said, got to wear a bit of color, got to jazz it up, particularly with these blue times, a little bit of red and a little bit of, something a little bit different would be good. And I've got the other camera wired up. So your questions are in, and oh man, guys, it's just like, it's just relentless, isn't it? It is relentless, which of course is the point. They want everyone to give up. They want everyone to be in a state of despair. But oh my God, it's just like, woo! It's a lot, isn't it? It's absolutely a lot. So before I dive in, so we've got questions on BBC and Jack Smith, Elon's tunnels, IDF and US military merge. Oh God, that just makes you want to just go and drown yourself, doesn't it? Tate brothers and Arc de Trump. Yeah, will that be Bill? Hey, Livy's here. She says Hoagie's got his Matador shirt on. Yeah, it is very Matador, isn't it? All of that kind of stuff. I'd have to wear the little cap, wouldn't it? And let's see here. Meme Vicky says Happy Friday. Everyone take a deep breath. We have got this. And then, and what's someone to say? Yowingfield says, can you wear contacts for sports? Okay, I could. I just don't want the extra faff of putting them in, putting them out. It's just another thing to add on top of all the other stuff I have to do. Looking after my blood sugar and all. It's just so much already. So I'm just like, I want to keep it minimal. What's this? Tapioca Thievery says, when is Hoagie's clothing line coming out? My husband's birthday is coming up. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, that's it. That's what Libby said there. And people saying hello as well. Sunny saying hi, Hogarth, and everyone. And Susie, be happy, loves, and hugs Hoagie Bear. Ah, thank you so much. In fact, at primary school, they used to call me Huggy Bear. Yeah. Like that guy from that character. I think it was from Starsky and Hutch. Yeah. That kind of slightly sketchy character. But anyway. Right. Let's dive into it. We'll dive into it. Oh, forgive me though, guys. I do have to do a little bit of a plug because I never talk about my books. Yeah. So anyway, just in case. Oh no, I've got to change the angle. Oh dear, failing already. There we go. You guys would have seen this. Yeah, this is one of my. Actually, it was a bestseller. Actually, my astrology book. So it's called The Candid Guide to Neo-Vedic Astrology. People always ask me. They said, Hoagie, we didn't know that you do books and art and all of this kind of stuff. So that is there. That was a bestseller. Still going very, very well. Superb reviews. Thank you to everyone who got the book. And this really will give you the insights. But especially as I'm going to be going back to them soon. Yes, I am a novelist. Yes, I write historical adventure fiction. So if you want something scintillating to read, maybe a little bit scandalous, to be honest, but you read the reviews and make up your own mind. So that was, sorry, that was Beyond the Gates of Hermes. Yeah, Beyond the Gates of Hermes. Time travel, adventure, and intrigue, political intrigue. Italy, yeah, 1600s, all sorts. And then here, my follow-up book, which was Beyond the Raging Flames, which of course continues the story and is absolute ripper. So I just thought I would just fling that in there. So let's take a look at your questions. Let's just dive in. Question number one is from Yowingfield, or Yowingfield. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyway, Elon Musk owns a company called The Boring Company. I have heard of it. That constructs huge underground tunnels. Can you look at it? Can you look at if this company was used to make tunnels for Epstein, specifically from Zorro Ranch to the nearby Mexican border? Interesting. His family uses this technology in their mining enterprises in South Africa, so he would have knowledge and easy access to equipment and operators. He has been building tunnels under Las Vegas, so he's already operating in the general vicinity. You know, that's a fair question, actually, because, you know, I've come to think of it, the more you think of it, isn't it, with all of this trafficking and all of this absolute horror, tunnels and all of that kind of stuff, that's really not so far-fetched, is it, folks? Think about it. That's one of the best ways, you know, because if you want to smuggle people between borders, particularly for, you know, sex crimes, let's just put it that way, one of the best ways you could do that is an secret underground tunnel, isn't it? I think nothing is too far-fetched these days after the Epstein files. I'm sure you guys would agree. I think nothing is too far-fetched. So let's take a look at that. Let's see. What's this? Someone saying here, Brent saying, reminds me of the 1980s song by Book of Love, I Touch Roses. Oh, thank you so much. And someone's saying here that I'm looking dapper. Seeking Peace says, just don't go to the bullfights wearing that gorgeous shirt. Yeah, if I get gorged by the bull, you wouldn't be able to see if I was bleeding or not, would you? It'd be a very romantic way to go out, wouldn't it? All right, Elon's tunnels. Is there something to it? Well, let me get the extra camera on while I'm having a chop. Let's have a look. Oh, one's dropped out already. Oh, look what's dropped out. The card that deals with what? Children. Oh, God. Do you know what? If that's fallen out, that means there's probably something to it. Yeah. You saw yourself, isn't it? It just fell out. Ah, gee whiz. These people, they're so despicable. Let's put another 5 cards. Elon tunnels. Is he involved in that? Is that something to do with sex trafficking or child trafficking, as the first card would suggest? God, I think that's pretty much a yes on its own, really, isn't it? Oh, let's have a look. Let's put another one. And speaking of Libby and I will be doing our collab soon at the end of the month. I think it's 27th of July. And I've just done another collab as well with Sulab, yeah, of Chariot Palmistry. So it was on his channel. That's probably going to come out, he said Sunday his time, which is like Saturday, more Saturday our time. So I'll be sharing that once that's out. Let's take a look. Let's get an elaboration, yeah, on this card. So for me, that's almost a yes, yeah, because it was about trafficking, yeah, and obviously trafficking minors. This is the card that's got minors on it. Oh, wow. I would say possibly. If we look here, you see, first card that comes out is the 9 of Pentacles. Now, you know, this is a card of wealth. Yeah, it can do with luxuries. Can also be talking about the billionaires. I think this is talking about the wealthy people that are involved, yeah, in these child sex trafficking rings and stuff like that. Again, I have to say, for entertainment purposes only. I don't know where my obsidian is, but I probably need to grab it soon. So we can see here there's already a connection here between children and extremely wealthy people. Where is my obsidian? Oh, thank God I found it. Here it is. Let's get onto this, you know, just in case. However, if we look here, he may have been asked to get involved or something like that, but maybe something went wrong. Yeah, something went wrong, or there was some kind of loss or betrayal or something like that. If we look here, 10 of Swords. So it could have been something that may have been floated as an idea and then it was ended. Yeah, then it was ended. Or maybe it got too dark. Maybe even it got a bit too dark for Elon when he was realizing that this was also to do with what? Unaliving people. Yeah. We look here. We also see the wealthy merchant giving out the cards. He would have been, you know, would have been given a cut, perhaps. Let's not forget, though, like Elon is not completely absolved because remember, let's not forget he was begging to be on the Epstein Island. So it means he was well in there. Yeah, it's just that maybe he wasn't quite as involved, but then we don't know because not all the files have been released. Yeah, but this talks about payments here. So maybe if he did it, there would have been some kind of payment, some kind of backhand, a little bit of the cut of the proceeds. But I mean, he's a multi-billionaire now. So-called trillionaire, but I don't think so. And then if we look here, we've got here the this is the 8 of Pentacles, which is a studious card, working hard on things. I mean, could there still be plans? I mean, he's probably still planning and working on his other underground projects. Whether or not it will be an underground project from Zorro Ranch across the border, I don't think it's that. But I think he may have been approached at some point, or there could be some other tunnels that are being used that are like subsidiaries, yeah, to move the people around at the behest of the wealthy. But there was something there where it would have went wrong. Something would have hit the skids. Maybe he chickened out, or it would have just been drawing too much attention, so it had to be kiboshed in some kind of way. But I think he was offered some money. So it may not be necessarily a tunnel from Zorro Ranch to the Mexico border, but it could be other tunnels that we don't know about. That's what I suspect it is when I look at that. Either way, it's still sinister, isn't it? Honestly, these people are just absolutely, they're demonic. They're just deplorable. All right. Let's see who else is in the old chit chat. Someone says here, Pelsey said, the shirt brings out your rosy cheeks. Oh, thank you. They are a bit rosy, actually. What do they do in the period dramas? They're like, Annabelle, quick, go to the mirror. You look pale, pinch your cheeks. The count is coming. Yeah. Oh, actually, that really has made them quite. Anyway. And let's see here. And what is this? It's a whack-a-mole on, yeah, Majesty is it's a whack-a-mole on steroids. I mean, it is. It's just, yeah. Coco Apache says, yeah, exhausting. Yes. Froannie says, fabulous shirt makes me think of Spain. Yes, indeed. Yeah, people saying yes. So right. Yes. Lotzian. Let's orb alert. Oh yeah, has there been an orb already? Oh, thank you, Sherry, much appreciated. Thank you. All right, let's see. Get this visible sport. Oh, someone said here, what's this? Foggy says, made a pistachio nut cake for hubby. It's bright green cake and icing with pistachio crumbles and lavender sugar on top. Oh my God, what a lucky husband. God, he picked right, isn't he? You know, or maybe you picked him, but he certainly, that's really good. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to be seeing the film that's caused all this controversy Troy. Apparently, it's very good. Like, people have watched it. They've been like, watch the film. I'm like, ooh. All right, so I'm going to be checking that out tomorrow. All right, let's take a look at question number 2 is from Youngfield again. And she says, can you look at whether the BBC will be able to obtain Jack Smith's January 6 report as evidence for the defamation case? Ooh, juicy. Jack proved all the things that they need to show to slam the door on this, or will Larange just withdraw the case? Now, that is a good question. I would strongly suspect, in fact, I'm not even going to say what I suspect. Let's just see what the cards say. Let's have get the cameras back up, have that chop. Get some of those comments up as well. Let's see. Oh, so did you see that? Cards are jumping out tonight. Oh, someone's looking into it, guys. Look, the Hermit. Oof, could be looking into it. Will the BBC be able to attain Jack Smith's J6 reports? They're certainly trying with that. Oh, look at this. This is astonishing. I mean, it's you can see Spirit is just dragging the cards out. All right, let's just pull another 3 because I think we're getting the story here already. Let's have a look, see. Wow, Spirit's so active tonight. Literally just dragging the cards out the deck. Let's see what else is here. Read. Oh. Oh, this is juicy. All right, this is juicy. This is juicy. So the question was, can you look at whether the BBC will be able to obtain Jack Smith's January 6 report as evidence for the defamation case? They are looking into it. Literally, if we look here, we have the Hermit card. As you guys know, this is a card of what? Research. This is a card of investigation, going deep within, reflection. The BBC are like, you know what? We need to win this case. You know, we're going to have to dig. We're going to, obviously, you don't have to dig that far to get dirt on Donald Trump. Trump has got so much dirt, he should be selling in a gardening business. Yeah. And just that's probably the one thing that you can trust from him. A pile of dirt. He's got that much dirt. He should sell it, literally. Sell it in garden centers. But yeah, they're going to be, let me just click off that. So they're looking into it, basically. You can see the BBC with the Hermit are really looking into it. If we look here, funnily enough, look at this. We get the 3 of Pentacles. As we know, 3s. This card in particular is a card of collaboration. 3s, of course, the number 3 is a very communicative sign. And of course, the 3rd sign in astrology is Gemini. So here for me, whenever I look at this card, it has Gemini energy. And Gemini, of course, is ruled by Mercury. And Mercury is the planet of what? Media. So definitely the BBC are doing deep research. Yeah, they are scanning the archives. They are looking at everything that Trump has said, you know, particularly Jan 6th, the rally, stuff like that. If they can get hold of a bit of Jack Smith as well, why not? They could even be coordinating with Jack Smith. If we look here, the next card that comes out is the Page of Cups, which you guys know I refer to as Stinky Fish. And this can mean an unpleasant surprise, yeah, something unexpected, unpleasant surprise, or some unusual news. What this says to me is it could be possible that the BBC may make some kind of announcement. Yeah, when that case comes closer, they may make a surprise announcement. They may pull out a witness or sources of information. Yeah, the Hermit, sources of information, which they've either dug from their archives, general media, or someone that they're collaborating with, yeah, on these plans. I think the BBC are seeking expert advice, but they could also be very much literally in collaboration with others, and they may come out with an announcement soon. If we look here, ooh, they're really going with the full force of the law here. The BBC have got some lawyers, some good ones. This is the Hierophant, which of course deals with what? Institutions, yeah, the standard way of doing things. The the norms, yeah, the norms and the customs. The BBC is a massive institution, of course, in the UK. Still pretty widely respected, less respect in the UK now because they've been proven to be a bit biased, but nonetheless, it's a huge global brand. And then look, we get the High Priestess. So you can see in that 5-card 4, we got 1, 2, 3 major arcana. So if I read the cards backwards, the BBC is digging deep. They are getting what? The inside dirt. They're getting dirt that Duck Larange isn't even aware of. Yeah, they're getting dirt that Duck Larange isn't even aware of. And these are machinations, the politicking behind the scenes. But when they come, they're going to come with a very official arguments. They're probably going to get the best lawyers that they can. And they might even get a little bit of Jack Smith in there as well. We'll have to see. This could be very surprising and shocking to Trump when he hears the news. Yeah, because he's like, oh, God. They are collaborating, working together on a plan. And they are digging deep. Yeah. If basically, remember there's the saying, which I think is very true. And they say, if you aim for the king, then you better not miss. So if the BBC are really going to take on Trump and challenge Trump, they better not miss. They need to bring all the receipts. Yeah, all the receipts. And if they do, you never know. You know what Duck Larange is like. He'll be like, drop the case, you know, blah, blah, blah. Or, oh, you can make a donation to one of my charities, some BS like that. But the BBC, I think, are going to be quite well defended. So good luck for them. All right, let's bring some more of you in, and then we're going to look at this IDF+US military merger. Oh, God. It has to be the abominations of abominations. Yeah. How do I say that? Burner Manny. Yeah, Musk is pretty boring all on his own. He is actually pretty boring. He's a very basic person on a certain level. In my one of my videos on my financial channel, that will go live just after this show, and I'll link it at the end after this video's kind of uploaded and processed. And grifter number one, of course, par excellence is Trump, but a close second is Elon. He's fooled a lot of people. A lot of people have bought into his BS. He's a genius. No, he's not. He's not. He's not. He's not an inventor. He's not a genius. He's not a very creative person, but he knows how to find talent and gets talent working for him. He's got some ideas. I'm not saying he's a complete dunce, obviously, but he's not nearly as bright as people make out. Anyone here that Trump today, that Dumpy's DOD removed 4 soldiers off the casualty list because they died during a ceasefire? Dead is dead. Wow. Look at that. I mean, he's lying. They're lying. It's way more people are dead and injured than they're letting on. He's like, it's only 18. Only 18. Like, Oh, someone says here, Sandra says, I do believe there was an underground facility or lab of some sort. Yeah, there would be, because they're always doing that experimentation, isn't it, with it, you know, horrible stuff. It's just like the old Nazi stuff. If anything, even worse, because it's like these are the modern times, and they've done it at an even bigger scale of debauchery. Oh, it's just so awful. Sharon Saipi, thanks so much for sharing my website. There you are, hogarthglobalastrology.com. Right, let's see where else going now. Someone says here, waiting impatiently for my crazy bread. Oh, what makes the bread crazy, Taurus? Did you make it yourself? Is it your own flour? And so what is it called here? Connie says, I'm here, but at the beginning of the show, so late. There we are, loving the show. Oh, thank you. And then Mark says, Trump suffers from lifelong liability. Yeah, liabilities. Liabilities, yeah, that's a good one. Let's just see here. All right, here we go. So let's look at this. So this is Amber Wood. And she said, hi, Hoagie, the IDF and the American military have now merged. Like, so this is horror of horror. Anyway, The IDF now has full access to our dwindling stock of munitions and our intelligence. What do the cards say? Thank you. I'm sorry if I'm not asking more direct or detailed question. Actually, your question wasn't too bad, actually. Not at all. It was very straightforward. But I am gobsmacked and have no words other than pure disgust. I agree. When I saw this, I was just like, oh my God, let me just have a Google on this, because I'm just like, really? Just like, really, really? IDF and US military merge. Oh, no, it's already come up in the search. What's this here? United States Israel futures at. So let's see here. Al Jazeera. Oh my God. Look at this. All right. It's just so horrific. It's just, you kind of run out of words, isn't it? Let's do share screen. Oh, if it will share, here we go. Let's just take a look at this. It's Al Jazeera, folks. Anyway, US passes 1.15 trillion military bill expanding Israel cooperation, bill to fund war on Iran, and a handful of Trump priorities passes largely along party lines, says Senate's uncertain. Oh my God. Republicans United House of Representatives narrowly passed a massive 1 point. You see, there's always money for war. This is what I say. There's always money for war. Healthcare, oh no, we can't afford that. Health insurance, oh no, we can't afford that. Education, oh, we certainly can't afford that. War, oh, open the wallets, open the spigot. Despite concerns from Democratic lawmakers over the price tag and enhanced military technology collaboration with Israel, the bill passed in the House on Wednesday by a margin of 216 to 212, largely adhering to party lines, with the exception of 6 Democrats who voted in favor and then 7 Republicans who opposed it. So that is the problem, isn't it? Look at this final vote total for NDAA today, which tragically merges our military technology and supply chains with Israel, says Republican Representative Thomas Massie, who has clashed with the White House and has been a vocal critic of the war on Iran, said in a social media post responding to the vote. Let's hope this version fails in the Senate, because Section 219 is a betrayal of our sovereignty. Oh, so maybe it's not been ratified yet. The 2027 National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, is a reflection of President Donald Trump's request for an enormous increase in the country's already unmatched military budget, seeking to boost spending from $900 billion last year to $1.5 trillion. Trump has said the increase is necessary as the US fights a widely unpopular war in Iran, launched by the US and Israel in late February. So it seems, so according to Thomas Massie here, says, let's hope this version fails in the Senate, because Section 219 is a betrayal of our sovereignty. So I don't think it's become law yet, isn't it? It has to go through the Senate. They might rubber stamp it there, but oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah, and then someone says here, no, it hasn't passed yet. Oh, God, there's still hope. Thank God. Good job I looked at that, yeah. And then someone says, no, safe at. So let's look into it then. Let's have a chop. Let's see, because it hasn't passed yet. Hasn't passed yet. That's why it's always good to have a little check. Because Amber said it had passed, but I think it obviously she may have meant to say it's approved in principle because it cleared the House, but it's not yet ratified. Let's put it that way. But let's look at the energy around this. Israel, USA merger. What's the energy around this if it were to come to pass? So let's say it's halfway there. US, Israel, troops, blending, Senate. Zoom in a little bit closer. Oh, Jesus. All right, there we go. So if we look here, look, it's going to be hard work. So there's still some heavy lifting to go, yeah? Still some heavy lifting to go. Could the Senate put up some resistance? We'll have to see. Yeah, but remember, all of them are pretty much bought and paid for anyway, so I don't hold out much hope for that. Anyway, if we look here, look, a decision has to be made, but people aren't liking the options on the table. So there could be some resistance in the Senate. People aren't pleased, yeah? But look, there's this cup coming out of the sky, which is the left field option. So maybe they might come up with some compromise or a fudge. If we look here, we have got the King of Pentacles. Now, of course, as you know, these are my lobbyists, yeah, lobbyists, funders, all of this kind of stuff. Yeah, the big money people, they obviously want it because they want the contracts. Yeah, a lot of people make money from war. Here you see the Knight of Cups. So this is the envoy, yeah, the envoy. Often referred to this person, this character. This is like making that offering, a seductive offering. This could also be, you know, making an offer that is too good to refuse. I think this also has to do with the offerings that have been made to Saudi as well. But they're going to have to try and sell this to the public or sweet talk certain people. Have to do back deal offerings, yeah. And then just in case you weren't sure, look at this: scheming, planning, plotting, scheming. So this energy came through with the BBC, didn't it? Do you remember they got the Hermit and they got the Three of Pentacles? So they're digging deep. And these are the negotiations that are going around to see if they can get passed through the Senate. Yeah, they're probably calling up on loyalties and digging in the dark to find skeletons to dig out and get people to vote the way that they want. So my instinct is it's probably going to pass because, as you know, first of all, the tentacles are extremely deep, as we know, and US politics it's just been bought out. But there's no other word. Yeah, you got all this lobbying and all this stuff. All right, now we're going to look at Tate Brothers, and then we're going to look at Arc de Trump. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Let me just see here. Yeah, and then we'll do a bit of Shakespeare on the Tate brothers as well. So Just Living My Life says, can you look at the Tate brothers and their connection to Baron Trump? Yeah, good question. Yeah, good question. And these Tate brothers, oh my gosh. Obviously, Trump is going to be doing all he can to try and stop them being extradited. He's probably going to use sanctions. I think I just heard that he put another 10% sanctions and whatever on the UK. And I think Andy Burnham has said that the USA can use our military runways for the campaign in Iran. Massive mistake. Just like, enough already. Like, I'm so sick and tired of these bought out politicians. And this is why Count Binface has to win. Because he's proving that the whole thing is a joke. It's just rigged. All this lip service. But yet the military-industrial project always has to roll forward. We don't have money for this. We don't have money for this. But there's that. There's always money for war. Always money from war. They just print it and cause inflation. It's just disgusting. And it's not just the USA, it's other countries as well. Unfortunately, like in the UK, we don't have the exorbitant privilege of being the global reserve currency. So the money does actually have to come from somewhere. But anyway, Tate brothers. Oh, I just get really just absolutely, it just infuriates me. Because it's such an extraordinary waste with the amount that has been paid. Like, here I am going off again. But think about it. With the amount that has been paid, the amount of monies that has been put in to war and these AI projects, trillions. Everyone in America could have free healthcare, free childcare, free education even. Trillions. Imagine all the infrastructure projects that could be built. Imagine if they had high-speed rail connecting all of the different states in America. Imagine if you could jump on a high-speed train in New York and take a high-speed train all the way across to San Francisco or Seattle or something like that. You know, I took the Amtrak back once upon a time, you know, in 2019. I loved it. It was 2 days. 2 days of travel. Imagine a high-speed rail. Imagine if you could get there in 5 hours from coast to coast or something like that. It would be extraordinary. The potential is so huge, but the waste is colossal. Anyway, Tate brothers, ranting enough. Who are half British and half American. They should be extradited, by the way. I wonder if it can actually, I'm not sure if it can be resisted, but I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. Because technically they're our citizens as well, and we have a claim on them. Not that we want them. Tate brothers. Tate brothers, what's going on with them? So the question was like, oh, and it was the connection to Baron Trump, wasn't it? Oh, I didn't have quite the right thoughts in my mind. 1 minute. Sorry. Connection to Baron Trump. Oh my God, that's something else, isn't it? Tate brothers, Baron Trump. Baron. Tate and Baron. What's going on with Baron? Oh, well, look at this. You see how much I shuffle the cards here, and they all just come back. Anyway, what do we have here? We've got the Sun card. Yeah, we've got the Sun card. So this is a card of what? Exposure, yeah? Enlightenment. It can mean enlightenment. It can mean hot, sunny places. But you notice here, here's the young boy on the horseback. So is it the case that the Tate brothers see him as some kind of protege? Could be that. Someone that they can, well, they've probably already indoctrinated him. He's probably found their stuff and why he's intervened for them on behalf via his father. But there is an element here of, and maybe there's an element here of even naivety. And they maybe see this as this bright spark that could potentially defend them. Yeah. Because if they've got the ear of the president's son, that's something that can help you a lot. And besides, they're sex offenders, so for entertainment purposes only. And we know that Trump will move heaven and earth for those kinds of people. Yeah. However, look, there's an element here. Look, the Hermit returns again. Introspection, reflection. Yeah. I think this is the Tate brothers really having to kind of like go deep and consider their options. Yeah, I think they're, you know, I think they're struggling. They're probably feeling quite isolated. Maybe Baron might be a bit of hope for them in some kind of way. But look, we got the High Priestess. So intrigues, machinations. There's going to be negotiations, secret negotiations going backwards and forwards of what to do with the Tate brothers. Because, of course, if they are taken and returned back to the UK and they're charged and imprisoned, then, of course, it sets that another precedent where people accountability is happening in other places in the world, mainly in Europe, and not in others. And by the way, do you remember I was talking about how I said snip, snip going through Leo? I said royalty leaders, all of this kind of stuff will come to an end. A Saudi prince died in a London hotel due to a cocktail of drugs. They were saying Saudi prince dead, 29. That's your Saturn return. Tragic, very tragic. If we look here, though, we've got the Sword of Truth that comes out here. Now, we know that these guys are a bunch of liars. So could this be that the British justice system comes up with something? Well, we know that they've already found pictures, what isn't it, of a child in a compromising, what, I ain't even going to go into the details of it, but found on his laptop or what have you. So there's the Sword of Truth cutting through here. Maybe it's just too egregious for them, for the US to try and stop it. And then if we look here, we've got the Page of Cups also returns, Stinky Fish. So the Tate brothers could have an unpleasant message. So it's probably going to be an announcement soon. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. But what I would say is if they're able to stay, it's because of the lobbying from the golden boy. Yeah, if they are able to stay in the UK, it's because they would have been able to use their connection with Baron. Yeah, this is Baron showing up here as the you know, the golden child. Yeah, metaphorically speaking, that's how I'm seeing it. Gosh, let's see what Shakespeare says about the Tate brothers. Shakespeare. Oh, let's have a look. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Please be sure as well, if you haven't done so already, to like and subscribe and share. It really helps the channel grow. Yeah, it really helps the channel grow. All right, let's see. What does the Barb think about the Tate brothers? Yeah. Wow. Well, this is what the Bard has to say. Yeah, so you can see it here as I read it off. Most smiling, smooth, detested parasites, courteous destroyers, affable wolves, meek bears. And that's from Timon of Athens. And isn't it interesting that it's talking there in the plural? Because it's the Tate brothers, yeah? Andrew and Tristan. Most smiling, smooth, because they do present this smooth image, don't they? That's how they've sucked a lot of people in. Most smiling, smooth, detested parasites. Of course they are parasites, because one of the things they advocate is about how to mooch and make money off sexploitation of young women and girls. Courteous destroyers, affable wolves, meek bears. Yeah, that's bang on, isn't it? Yep, the Bard strikes again. That's absolutely bang on, I would say. Wow. All right, let's take a look at Arc de Trump. Yeah, oh, God. And then I'll probably take some of your questions as well if you guys have any questions. Yeah, someone's saying here, only past the house. Oh, Barbara says there are people on YouTube who have published the names of the 6 Dems. Yeah, they should put them up in big posters. Traitors. How can it be the case that you can have 7 Republicans vote against it, yet the six Dems vote for it and it goes over the line? Bought and paid for, guys. Bought and paid for. You know this anyway. Oh. Oakenwich said, do you think the new investigation that France is opening regarding the e-files would include Maxwell? Any chance she could get extradited to France? I am going to say no. Yeah. The reason why I'm saying that is you remember that dream, that Maxwell dream that I had? And you remember she informed me, I mean, it was all the horrific stuff. I had to do a few light person. I had to be like, enough, like, stop. I don't need to see any more of that horror. And we're on that train. And she told me the train is about to crash. Yeah. Jump off. And she showed me this technique, jump off and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, came along, you know, I had to jump, blah, blah, did everything. I think I got a bit scorched on the leg or something like that. And then when they searched the train for the survivors, she wasn't there. Let me tell you, she is not in that prison. She's not there. Again, for entertainment purposes only. I think she's been scot-free for a while. I don't think she needs to be extradited to France. What I saw is that she, what I was shown psychically was that she would actually live in France. I think her family's got property there anyway, and I think she's fluent in French. So France is a big country. It's got the same population as the UK, around about 70 million. I think we're like 69 million and loose change. France has got about the same, but 3 times the space. Yeah, lots of places you can hide out in France. It's a big country. It's a big country. So no, I'll be very surprised if she's ever dragged back in. Whatever, she's, as far as I'm concerned, she's not even in prison. Do you remember when that guy saw this woman with white hair and he said Ghislaine, and she turned? You know, she, instinctively, because obviously it's her name. Anytime anyone says your name, you're going to turn, particularly when you've got an unusual name. Yeah, when you've got an unusual name, you cannot help it. Your head will turn. Like, obviously, there's no one out there, you know, really called Hogarth. But when people say Hoagie or, oh, Hogarth, you know, instantly I turn, because it's so rare that a stranger would know my name or even be able to guess it. Ghislaine is quite, you know, it's a French name, but it's quite a rare name, particularly for anyone that's not French. You know, Ghislaine is like, that's quite something. So she instinctively turned, slap bang. AI analyzed the face, everything, the eyes, the teeth, the whatnot. It was her, not that fraud that was sitting there with that wig and blah blah blah. So she's gone. Sorry, but she's gone. All right, let's see who else is in. Yeah, someone says, yes, Jason Vincent, thank you. Some more clarity here. Yes, this IDF USA hasn't merged at all. The Senate hasn't voted yet. Excellent. Good. Good. Let's see what happens. Because as you know, guys, I go on the question that I get. So that's why sometimes I check it out. Not because I don't trust people who leave questions, but sometimes it may not be the full thing, or it just needs a bit of ratification sometimes. So we see, yes, it has passed the House, but not the Senate yet. So therefore, it means it's not yet law, from what I understand. Oh, someone says here, troll alert. Oh yeah, where? Let's have a look. I'm sure Sharon will get onto them. Let's see. Here we are, more clarity. SJ, Hoagie, the Senate must still debate, amend, and pass its own version of the NDAA before a final compromise bill can be sent to the president's desk. All right, so there we are. Let's see here. Oh, and more info from Jason. No, the Senate has not approved any merger. The US and Israeli militaries are not merging. The premise is based on a mischaracterization of a defense policy bill. I do love a bit of clarification. Really, I do. Because for me, it's education. I just see it as education. I would much rather be corrected with the correct information rather than not correct information, basically. So no, I really appreciate that. Taurus says the evil brothers. Let's see here. Let's just see. Could all be millionaires. Oh, lots of chat. What's this? SJ says Yasemin Ansari sent a letter to House Oversight Committee, James Comer, urging him to launch an investigation, issue a subpoena for Barron to testify regarding reported communications with Tate. Well, look at that. How interesting. Did you see? Because obviously I didn't know that. I just read. I said it's like they see him as like their connection, because of course if you're connected with the president's son, and like I said, he's the golden child. Look at that. Thanks to that. That's basically validated my reading, hasn't it? Wow. All right, let's look at Arc de Trump. Will it be built? Oh my God, the abominations. The abominations just line up. Let's take a look. Let's have it. Arc de Trump. Oh God, suck that belly in. All right, and there is 922 of you here live with me right now. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the show, even though we have to read on this grimness. But I think Shakespeare, the bard, was bang on about the Tate brothers, wasn't he? Let's take a look. Arc de Trump. And it's so, I remember seeing Trump when, here we are, 1 minute, digression. I remember seeing Trump's eyeballs, yeah? Remember when he went to France? And he was being hosted by Macron in Paris. And then the planes came down the Champs-Elysees. And I remember Trump standing there like that. Just be salivating, and that's when he had the idea clearly. And he's like, well, I'm Trump, Trump, Arc de Trump. Yeah, that's probably how he's thinking. He's like, it's gonna be so beautiful, so beautiful. And then they had the fake one, isn't it, at that rally thing, that event that no one showed up at because it was too hot and people were collapsing anyway, and it was just rubbish. Arc de Trump, will it be built? If the Three of Pentacles comes back again, I'm just gonna be like, Arc de Trump, will it be built? This obscenity. Let's have a look. Oh, how interesting. It's not talking about that at all. Nothing here to do with that. Let's talk about the Epstein files. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to pull some clarifiers here. Look at this. So the first thing that comes out is the High Priestess. Again, is this third? I think this is her third night out. Is it the second or third night out this evening? So we know this is a card of what? Intrigue, yeah, intrigue, machinations. We were asking on the Arc de Triomphe. Now this instantly when I saw this, I knew that the cards were answering something else, because the Arc de Triomphe is known, yeah, it's known. We all know what he wants to do, and he's been bragging about it and saying what he wants. So there's not secrecy here, so it has to refer to something else. And of course, the other cards will divulge. Now, what is there secrecy, machinations, and cover-ups about? Look what comes out. The Five of Pentacles, which is what? Health. Obviously, we know they are lying about Trump's health, but this is also about being out in the cold. So there is an element here. Yeah, it's like, apart from the Epstein files, the other main cover-up, of course, is Trump's health. Just in case we weren't sure, Six of Cups, which for me pretty much is like the Epstein card, or at least the victims. Yeah, there it is. So that's that there. Then if we look here, we got the Queen of Wands. So there is a woman here, a powerful, influential woman, someone who's using their intuition. Do you know what? Someone sent me an email and I didn't have a chance to check it, but they said that apparently Pam Bondi has been throwing Trump under the bus, and she's kept their recordings together. She recorded their conversations, apparently. If anyone can add any source to that, do let me know. But I didn't have time because I had to dash out. I'd been busy with clients, and then of course I had to go play tennis, blah blah blah, all of that stuff, you know, and all the other stuff I just have to deal with life, just in general. So look, there's a woman here who could have power and influence. And then look what comes out. It's the Judgment card. Ooh, you know, all the dead bodies rising up here. Oh, you can see, look, I have to, you notice I've augmented them. Yes, she's wearing a bra strap now. He's got pants on. They both got pants on. I forgot I did this, you know, just to prevent YouTube doing its silly, algorithm thing. Anyway, so there's an element here of judgment, more exposure. So even though it's not really about, let's pull some clarifiers on that Judgment card. In what ways is Trump going to be judged? In what ways is Trump going to be judged? Can you share with us, Spirit? What ways is Trump going to be judged? What ways is Trump going to be judged? Here. Oh, of course, you know who this is. Okay, right, this is interesting. Now, as you guys know, what is the card, that I most associate with Dark L'Orange? The Star. Now, you can see I've upgraded her. She's now wearing a costume, and if you look closely, there should be some little dazzling star speckles and reflections. But anyway, I kind of like, souped it up a little bit. But basically, she's wearing a bathing costume now because, as you know, the YouTube algorithm. But this is my card for who? Dark L'Orange. Look how clear it is. Could it be more obvious? If we look here, we've got an element here of business. Yeah, so that here we've got the King of Wands. This could be one of his benefactors or maybe his business schemes that he's been up to. And then if we look here, look, we get the World card. I've also had to put a bikini on her. We've got the World card here, which is the completion of a cycle. Yeah, so this is a global thing, but it's also the endings and beginnings, beginnings and endings. So a great cycle is coming to an end. So it's kind of, and when we take into account, look, Duck L'Orange, if we take it backwards, yeah, the Judgment, a powerful woman is involved, something to do with the Epstein files, something to do with his health, yeah, all of these secret machinations, yeah, in the High Priestess. So Duck L'Orange is not safe, you know. He may seem more secure than he is, but I don't think he's safe. Could this be a bit of Elon as well, or some other billionaire trying to come in and save him? Or this could be the business deals that he's doing. Well, they're corrupt deals, which obviously is a global nature. We know that he's there in the Straits of Hormuz and all of this kind of stuff, but there's a cycle. I just have the feeling that it's just that Five of Pentacles. I don't know. I think it's worse than it is. Yeah, behind the scenes with his health and all of that stuff. I think it's worse than it is. I mean, what am I talking about? It's far worse than what is being presented, not worse than it is. I mean, why else would you need 22 specialists? All right, folks, I think we're good. We're almost up to the hour, and I need to go to bed. Let's see. Oh, bless. Someone says here, my son, 409 Cope. My son in Alberta is suffering from wildfire smoke. Sure hope it doesn't have the nerve to cross the border. Orange lunatic will add more tariffs on us. Elbows up, fellow Canadians. Yeah, he just flings a tariff almost anything now. Oh, look at this. Deborah says the Tates are connected to John Jr. too. He went running to them when they were arrested. Well, look at that. Because obviously they're going to have dirt as well. And someone said, Hoagie, sorry about the rude troll tonight. I missed it, actually. So whatever troll you were, you missed your target because I didn't even know you were there. Never mind. Moving on. Old Silver said, wow, and the bear reference. And then, yeah, Deborah's saying, yeah, spot on. And Jill was saying, wow, yeah, that Shakespeare was just... I couldn't have said it better myself. And Jill says, yeah, the bard gets it. It's just absolutely just spot on. Hoagie bard, spot on, yeah. And then Magister says, Libby says, Tristan always has the smooth accountant look going. Yeah, and they're both, you see, they wear like their shirts and they present very smooth. That's how they lure and seduce a lot of their audience that buys into their BS. And then someone says here, Dion says this hatred of women exhibited by the Tate brothers can represent repressed homosexual feelings. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it should not even be an issue, guys. Like one of these days, I'm going to write a book. Let me tell you, I'll tell you this. I can tell a person's sexuality by where their planets are in their chart. Really, I can. So it's like sexuality and stuff. It's not like this choice or lifestyle choice. No, it is in the stars. I can literally look at someone's chart and I'll know if they're straight, if they're gay, if they're bi, or even transgender, that kind of stuff. Because it's there in the chart and there's certain kind of combinations. All this repression and repressed people tend to be very unpleasant people, don't they? Yeah, they tend to be very unpleasant people. But one day I'll write a book on it. Honestly, I will. I'll write a book on it because I've read over 2,000 charts now, guys. Obviously, there's some people that have read more, but let me tell you, I've read a lot of charts. And when you look at a chart, you can tell. And just to close with that for you, Cindy, Duck L'Orange, yeah. Literally one of the campest charts, really, that I've ever seen. Anyway, I will leave it there, folks. Please be sure to like and subscribe and share if you've not done so already. Check out my books linked in the video description below. Yeah, Beyond the Raging Flames, Beyond the Gates of Hermes, and of course my astrology book. I will leave it there. Big love, everyone, and goodbye for now. Bye bye. Cheers.